Imagine boarding a routine flight on a warm August morning. Everything feels normal. The engines roar, the plane climbs into the sky, and then silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the kind where everyone on board slowly loses consciousness while the plane keeps flying. This is not fiction. This is the true story of a ghost plane that circled the sky with no one awake to control it. On August 14th, 2005, Helios Airways Flight 522 took off from Cyprus. Its destination, Prague, with a scheduled stop in Athens, Greece. There were 121 people on board, families, travelers, crew. None of them knew they were about to become part of one of the most chilling aviation tragedies in history. Shortly after takeoff, something unusual happened. A warning alarm sounded inside the cockpit. The pilots believed it was a minor issue, something related to takeoff configuration, a routine glitch, nothing life-threatening. But they were wrong. That alarm wasn't about takeoff at all. It was warning them that the cabin was losing pressure. As the aircraft climbed to 34,000 feet, the air inside became dangerously thin. At that altitude, without proper cabin pressure, oxygen levels drop rapidly. Within minutes, the human brain begins to shut down. This condition is called hypoxia. It doesn't feel like panic. It doesn't feel like suffocation. Instead, you become confused, disoriented, and then unconscious. One by one, the passengers lost awareness, then the crew, then the pilots. The plane was still flying, but everyone inside was gone. Now imagine this. A fully operational airplane, flying on autopilot with no conscious human on board. Flight 522 reached Athens, but instead of landing, it just kept circling in the sky, over and over. No response to air traffic control, no communication, just a silent aircraft drifting like a ghost. Greek authorities knew something was terribly wrong. They scrambled 2 F-16 fighter jets to intercept the plane. As the fighter pilots approached, they looked inside the cockpit. What they saw was chilling. Passengers were slumped in their seats, completely motionless. The co-pilot was collapsed over the controls. The captain's seat, empty. It looked like a flying tomb. And then, something incredible happened. A man entered the cockpit. His name was Andreas Prodromou, a flight attendant. He had managed to stay conscious using a portable oxygen supply. He wasn't a professional pilot, but he had some flight training. He sat in the captain's seat and tried to take control. He attempted to send a mayday signal, a desperate call for help, but the radio frequency was wrong. No one heard him. He was alone, trying to save a plane full of unconscious people, thousands of feet above the ground. Time was running out. The engines began to fail, not because of damage, but because the fuel was running out. One engine stopped, then the second. The aircraft began its final descent. Andreas fought until the very end, but without power, there was nothing more he could do. The plane crashed into a mountainous area near Athens. All 121 people on board lost their lives. A tragedy not caused by explosion, not by weather, but something almost invisible. The investigation revealed a heartbreaking truth. Before takeoff, a ground engineer had set the cabin pressurization system to manual. It needed to be switched back to automatic, but it wasn't. The pilots missed it, and that one small oversight led to a chain of events that turned a normal flight into a silent, drifting coffin in the sky. This story is a reminder. Sometimes the most dangerous threats aren't loud or violent. They're quiet, invisible, easy to overlook. And sometimes it only takes one small mistake to change everything. 121 lives lost in silence, and a plane that kept flying long after everyone inside was gone.